Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective. What's up, Sports Talk? Jay Beltas, absolutely. Texas wins 49-17. Great win. Uh, getting back on track, get right after a bye week, showing that health is wealth, showing, you had some new little wrinkles out here today, especially in the offense. I said during our Bleacher Report show this week on Longhorn Weekly, it's important that Texas gets back to looking dominant, playing their best ball. We don't want to, again, you don't want to be, oh, we peaked in September, right? Like really starting to reestablish dominant habits. I mean, a lot of what football is habitual. I mean, you look at the defense and how they have stood on business all season long. Those are important traits. And yes, I know people are gonna talk about the run defense and some of the things, and hey, did we give up a little too many points to Florida? Blah blah blah. Overall, great day. Win 8-1. Control our own destiny. One thing I didn't talk about on our Longhorn Weekly show was the playoff rankings that had come out. So, Texas being in just peak position there at the 5 hole, considering the loss to Georgia and the SEC conference still outstanding. Perfect position to control our destiny for the bye, right? So, but the habits, the things you're looking to see, it's the same reason Miami goes down today, right? I mean, we saw, if you watch college football, those habits, those bad habits, every week you can't just go on a crazy. I mean, Miami's been doing it until they didn't, right? And they got caught today. Maybe that loss will wake them up. But that's why it was important, regardless of what Florida put on the field. I understand that defensive back group for Florida. A lot of guys are out. Offensively, Elijah Badger, DJ Lagway, a lot of their main guys, Montrell Johnson, Billy Napier came into Austin with a mash unit, third string quarterback, and Nathan Warner, no Graham Mertz. Like, I get it. Okay, that's not their real product. However, like we said, this was a get right week for Texas. This is about Texas and executing and having those good habits. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about, a lot of good takeaways, things we still got to clean up. We're not perfect. Some we even probably left some meat on the bone at certain points of the game if you want to get technical. But happy to be here talking ball with you guys. So shout out to the chat. CFB picks. Yep, it is a wonderful day. Guys, if you want to be a part of the discussion, make sure you're subscribed. Hit that like button. Y'all know what to do when you come into the FP lounge. And we want to talk ball and just discuss. So good day today. I want to start here. Isaiah Bond, him back healthy, huge. Uh, he's been missed. It's a different element. It's a different element he brings to this team. He's supposed to be what Xavier Worthy had been for us, right? And when he's been healthy this year, he has been producing in that manner. The Georgia game was frustrating, right? With the injury, knowing he was nowhere close to 100% and didn't finish the game, right? And so seeing him out there, that reverse, especially when we were sputtering a little bit at that point in the game. We needed that. And seeing him out in the open field running and breaking tackles and not just running, looking fast, but looking physical, right? The energy, body language, all of it the vibes were high today. And so we needed to see that. I think, guys, it's kind of like basketball. Sometimes you need the ball to see the ball go in. I think Quinn needed that, right? Because early in the game, he missed one where the DB fell down. It was clearly going to be a touchdown. And it's like, Jesus, like, what are we on early, right? But as Quinn gets settled, he actually started throwing some dimes and looking pretty sharp. So I am really, really impressed and thrilled with today's performance. Got my buddy on here. What's up, Mr. Tran?
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing, man? How you
I'm
doing?
doing well. How are you doing?
I'm good, man. Let me get my headphones in here so I can not have an echo. But hey, man, what are your thoughts on today's game? Welcome back.
It was good. I mean, what more can I say? Honestly, just to have the fact that Ewers looked crisp, look fresh. He didn't look like he was injured at all. Delivering the ball. What do you have? Like five touchdowns for 350 almost roughly, and
Mhm.
it was really 2.5 quarters of play. So I mean, he did his job. We didn't play with our food. We walked in. We dominated from the get go. It did start off a little bit scary with the way we had our first drive ended, but otherwise, the defense did what the defense does. Holds the team to very low points, and I know they scored 17 points, but two of those touchdowns were in nothing time essentially. So it was a good win. Things that I'm upset about are like the Cam Williams injury. I think is a
Right.
pretty tough injury. Just by the way he was carried
Do
off.
we know what it was? Was it ankle, knee? What was the injury?
I'm hoping it was ankle. I'm
Because
hoping it was a
he
sprain.
didn't
Yeah,
seem to put much weight on it
yeah.
when he was.
But if it's a knee, I mean he's done for the season most likely.
I'm hoping
Um,
it's not a knee. Hopefully, it's
yeah,
an
yeah.
ankle.
So hopefully it's an ankle. I hope someone in the chat can tell us what if they've heard anything. I just got back from a watch party on it, and we'll see. Like, yeah,
No, you're right. That's definitely the big concern. I mean, especially long term is injuries. That's also why guys have to play in crunch time. I know some of you want to see your favorite players play extended snaps and it's exciting, but when a game is out of reach and you're playing against a lot of backups, things can get reckless. I mean, you saw what happened with Silas Bolden on the punt return, right? I mean, I don't think that guy was trying to cheap shot him or anything, but it's just like the backups, some of these backups get in there, they're trying to fly around and it just gets reckless, right? It's like
yeah,
that's why that's why I think the way they handled Quinn snaps was perfect, right? Because he needed some stats. I'm gonna say it. He needed to see that I can have a 5 touchdown game. I can throw for 300 yards. I can really put it on a team. And I'm glad that they let him do that, and then they took him out, right, to avoid
well. Not
let him
only
get in
that,
there clean.
it was against a defense that was playing at a pretty high level.
Yeah, but that defense,
Yeah,
they were missing a lot of guys from the Georgia
were
game,
they?
man.
Were
Yeah,
they?
they had
Okay.
a lot of backups in.
Okay.
That
Well,
that that was not our that was not the norm. I think they only had like one starting DB, so that's why they had a lot of communication stuff. But to your point, Florida defensively, when healthy, has been
yeah,
very very good. But you have to take advantage of those things, Tran. When people are out, expose them.
yeah,
You got backups in there, start targeting people, right? I mean, and then don't miss the layups. They're talking, the Florida DBs are talking to each other. They're clearly having miscommunication. Gunnar Helm's wide open the seam. Don't waste
yep.
time. Get out the fake and just drop it to him. I like that. That's good awareness by Quinn. Like, let the easy stuff be easy. You know what I mean? So, um, let me see. Cam was back in after. Oh, he did play after the injury. Okay, well that's good. That's a good sign then. I didn't. I thought it was Goolsby the rest of the time, and then I saw the backup. So if Cam was playing afterwards, I missed that.
Yeah. So
That's good.
good.
That's good. All right, so we can move on from that then.
Cool.
Let's talk about the running backs. So Jared Gibson was a roller coaster ride today. Uh, on the good side, 16 carries, 100 yards rushing, and he got in the end zone. I mean, the guy just gets in the end zone.
Yeah.
The bad is the fumbles.
He had 2 fumbles, right?
Yes, the ball
Yeah.
security is just. I mean, in the first fumble, man, the guy barely touched him. Ball's just flying out of his hands. So look, I've been banging the table saying, hey, I want to see him in there. I want to see him get work. I mean, I think I love Coach Choice, and I'm a big fan of what he's done. I'm not questioning him. Okay. Do I think we've been a little overcorrective and a little harsh on some of these young boys with their mistakes to where he's been the way he's been with Jaden Blue. It seems like Jaden Blue makes one mistake, they're like, "F you, you're sitting down for 2 quarters." or if and you saw how upset Sark got after Wisner ran backwards and screwed up the opening drive. Where do you fall with how you manage these young backs, Tran? And because I feel like we need all of them. They all bring a different skill set to the table to help the team. But clearly the coach is frustrated
Yeah,
with
no,
the
I mean,
mistakes.
it's making our offense a little one dimensional. Like, hey, like we saw it with Georgia. It's like, hey, they were begging us to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
They were opening up the red carpet for us to run the run the ball, and we just didn't do it. I think Jarrett Gibson, if he can get ball security down within the next couple of weeks, he's definitely our short yardage back. I think we got 2 fourth and short downs with
Mm-hmm.
him, which is the first
Early, one
time.
of them was early
Yeah,
in the game. Yeah.
yeah.
Mhm.
At our 24. Well, was that Jarrett?
Ballsy move by Sark.
Was that Gibson that
That
ran
was
that one?
Gibson.
Okay,
Mhm.
good. So, but I mean, like, and then he did it also in the third quarter, later on as well. But if because you know what happens in those little scrums when guys are ripping at the ball, that's all you're doing. And if you're our short yardage back and you're not holding or taking care of the ball in those little piles, I don't. You can't be running. You can't be our short yardage back. So we knew that losing CJ Baxter was huge.
Mhm.
He was going to be our bell cow this year. This was going to be and you know Blue was going to spell him for just to have a good rotation. But I mean, we have talent there. I'm not necessarily worried yet.
Blue was outstanding in the open field today.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been outstanding in open field really all season. It's just the little knick-knack things with him sometimes that they get frustrated with. But I actually like how he's being used right now. I think they're realizing he's a freaking slasher. Get him just space. Get Jaden Blue out in space, and he can be electric. I also think he's a guy who's more effective. Less is more with him. I think he has a certain window of touches where he needs to be. And when you go over that threshold, he becomes a little less effective. And I think if you don't give him enough, then he's not fully tuned in. So I think they have to understand, like, I don't know what that threshold of touches is, Tran. I don't know if it's 13 touches or 20 touches, whether it's, 12 to 15 carries and 4 to 5 catches, probably somewhere in that range.
Mm-hmm.
But that just seems to be where he's his most effective self. I'll pull up the stat sheet here in a little bit so we can both look through it. But I just feel like he's in a good spot where there's that, but there's still a lead runner, whether it's Wisner, you said Baxter before, but Gibson in the short yardage. We need these guys to develop, man. Like you said, when it comes December, January football, we need you. We don't have options to turn to, and we can't be one dimensional against the good teams. Like you, I'm glad you brought up the Georgia game, right? The answer can't be, well, I don't trust y'all, so we can't run the ball.
Yeah.
Schematically, we lose. I have to be able to run the ball. I have to be able to show that look. John Wayne said here, we're not committed to running downhill. Tran, let me ask you a question. Did you notice that early in the game we still were more outside zone, wide zone heavy? But when Arch and them are in there,
They're
they all of a
in
sudden
between the
start going.
tackle. Yeah.
They start going downhill between the tackles. What's up with that? Have you noticed this?
I can't put my finger on it. I don't know if it's personnel or it can't be personnel, right?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you. I'm searching for answers.
I definitely have noticed that. But to me, I'm old school where I was like, hey, if your offensive line is having issues with the rush, you want to get them confidence, and the way you get them confidence is you see them win. Like, hey, I'm going to hit this guy in front of me.
Yeah,
So,
I agree.
like, establish the run. Like, I get it. You have a quarterback who's a upperclassman who could supposedly hit all the passes, and with Isaiah Bond back in, the offense looked like it was moving a lot more fluidly. But still, we're not going to win if our offensive line isn't clicking at the right time.
John Wayne said he thinks it's Sark getting cute. Maybe. I don't know. I think it's something we're not, and this is something I said after the Georgia game that has rung true. Some of our flaws are only going to get exposed at that level of ball. Some of these other teams, even the Vanderbilt game, we clearly played with our food. There's no doubt about that. We should have won that game by multiple scores. But there's certain, like, they don't have, some of these teams don't even have the personnel for us to get the answer to the question. Like, that's how good and deep we are. That's also a credit to Sark and the program that they put together, that Texas is so good now that the certain things that we have, and this is not for us trying to sound arrogant, this is just facts. When we have certain things that have to get exposed or be exploited, can only happen if we're playing a team that has the similar personnel to us. You see what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
Like some of these teams, like, we can run that wide zone. It doesn't matter if they have the personnel stop. You're not going to stop it. But that doesn't answer the question about the dirty yards, getting downhill, Quinn's mobility, things of that sort. Like today, Florida, Sapp's a good player. They had some good guys up front that are tryhards, but they couldn't get any pressure on Quinn. So, like, does that answer the question about how Quinn's going to deal with mobility against A&M's defensive line? No. We're not going to know that answer probably until we play Kentucky, maybe, right? If they're healthy still. But because Arkansas, I mean, they have Landon Jackson, but that's not what we're going to see at the end of the season. So some of these teams just don't even have the personnel to help us get these answers. Like, I will say this though, Shram, I really like Sark's script today. I thought he dialed up beaters all day long. I thought he was all over it. I don't think he overthunk it, especially understanding that Florida had a lot of backups in there. That's how I want to see a coach act when there's backups, when there's food back there. Put those guys in a bind. That's why you started seeing people just wide open downfield. Matthew Golden's like over here jumping at the inside. Like, thank you, Sark. I appreciate it.
Yeah. No, I mean, even some of the incompletions. I think there was one where the D-back fell on an out route. And it was
they missed it. That was a touchdown.
It would have been a touchdown. But I mean, look, we can't really pick and choose what we want to complain about on when we ran up 49 points. I mean, we can't right now. Like,
to me, Sark gets an A for today, Tran. Yeah. Sark, the play caller, play designer, I should say.
He had, it was great. He used his bye week to plan. It's fantastic.
Yeah, he had some stuff for Florida, man. The reverse was dope. The GT little counter pull, boom, boom, and then hit Bond on the back. Whoa.
Even on the 4th and 2 on our 24, where it made it look like it was going to Bond on the end around, and we went right up the middle. Like, yeah, little wrinkles like that are what make you a good play caller.
Mm-hmm. I liked it. Obviously, the defense. Let's talk defense. That's your expertise. Trey Moore, I thought, had his best game as a Texas Longhorn today.
Yeah,
he set the tone early. He did some veteran things where sometimes they'll show you something and guys will chase the ball but not stay in their gap to defend the run. I thought he did a great job of playing both levels and then going to get the quarterback. Again, I understand Aiden Warner, the transfer from Yale, really tough spot for that young man to be in, having to go into DKR and start a football game when he hasn't gotten a whole lot of reps this year. And on top of that, Elijah Badger's out. All these other Florida weapons are out too. It's like you out there just trying to make it happen. I get it. But again, the defense has been consistent.
Yep.
At least setting the tone. We can get to the run stuff, but just overall, your thoughts and impressions on the defense. Who stood out to you?
Always who stands out to me is Anthill. I mean, he finds his way around the ball, and he finds his way around, like, causing a turnover. It seems like almost every single game he did that. Yeah, he was the one who punched out the ball, right, for the first fumble?
That was
Yeah,
him.
yeah, he punched it out.
Right on
So,
time.
yeah, he, yeah, he's,
Rip that thing.
yeah. I think everyone is talking about the run fits and everything like that, but I just think honestly, it hasn't burnt us yet. And I think that was probably one of the biggest explosive run plays of the season, minus UTSA. I think UTSA busted off a huge one against us.
UTSA busted one, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought Alfred Collins looked good. I thought Vernon Broughton looked good as well in the trenches. The one thing I didn't see is like when they were actually in pass, they were going to pass the ball. We didn't really get that great of a rush, but I think we were only sending 4 for the most part.
I want to. So I'm gonna. You mind if I pull the stats up now?
But
Let's go ahead and look at them. I mean,
Makuba off of injury, getting another pick.
Makuba being
Yeah,
healthy,
yeah,
that's another
yeah.
one. Same thing I was talking about earlier with it was good to see. You could tell a healthy Isaiah Bond on offense looks just different.
Mm-hmm.
A healthy Andrew Makuba being back, thank you, Jesus.
Yep.
Looked different. Let me go ahead and pull this up here. Okay. All right. Can you guys see the stat? Yeah, I think we got it up here. There we go. So I'll start with the team stats first, but 562 yards of total offense, outstanding, right? 200 yards on the ground. So it's good to get back to seeing Texas dominant on the ground. Texas scoring in every quarter. Texas obviously being dominant in the first half, 35 points in the first half. Didn't allow points until the second half. And like Tran said earlier, a lot of those points came with second, third unit guys in the game for us. So we will take that. Obviously, Quentin Ewers' best statistical game this season. 5 TDs, no picks, 300 yards passing, 19 to 27. Just outstanding. Jarrett Gibson goes over 100 yards, but needs the ball security. Jaden Blue only had 5 carries, but 60 yards. Obviously, the big 45-yard run. And we know he was a contributor in throw game as well. I thought he actually caught that other pass on the sideline too, so he probably should have another one.
Yeah, I did too.
DeAndre Moore, we got to get on the jug machine this week or something, Bubba.
Oh, the 2 drops.
Those we left again meat on the bone, right? So, like you said, the Bond incompletion that Quinn missed when the DB fell down, that's probably a 70-something yard touchdown that we left. The DeAndre Moore dropped multiple dimes. Those were good throws. That I thought all of those should have been caught. There was only one where it was a little overthrown, but the one in the end zone was a dime. Now we still scored, so it's not points left, but just statistical output. That is kind of funny that he got the drops when Jonte Cook left the team.
Yeah.
That is hilarious in itself, but didn't bite us. Matthew Golden's been good all year, man. I mean, I just think the guy's just always
Bless you.
thank you. Ready when called upon. He only had 3 targets today, Tran. But look what he does with his 3 targets. 3 catches, 64 yards, and 2 touchdowns. I honestly feel like every time we throw the ball, the guy, something good happens. So Gunnar Helm, those are good numbers for him. He's been one of the best tight ends in the country this year.
Agreed.
Obviously, we talked about Isaiah Bond earlier. Wingo, when he caught that ball late, I had forgot we had Wingo on the team for a second, which is not a bad thing, right? I mean, that's how deep this team is. and how well they're playing right now. Yes, Arkansas is on the belt to ass list. Let's not. We need to go in there with a mentality of capture or kill, and we ain't trying to capture nobody. Okay, like in all seriousness, you cannot go into Vietnam. We've seen two different Arkansas teams this year, by the way. So we saw Tennessee go in there and play Arkansas shook, and they got beat. But then we saw Ole Miss go in there, and it looked like they were about to fire Sam Pittman because Ole Miss was throwing the ball like gangbusters all over Arkansas and getting whatever they wanted downfield. Plus, I'm gonna tell y'all this about Arkansas. I think that they were too reliant earlier this season on their athletes in Taylor Green and Jaquinda Jackson. I think those guys are really banged up. I don't see the same juice from them like I saw. Now, with all that being said, we're Texas. And Tran, when we go in there, all of a sudden people go magically get healthy. Magically have
And they have a bye week, right? This week?
I think so.
Yeah.
After getting embarrassed by Ole Miss. That was one of the worst losses in the SEC this season. They got beat so bad. So 2 weeks, Sam Pittman possibly coaching for his job at this point.
Especially all the shit he talked about Texas.
I'm expecting them to bring a certain level. All I'm saying is if we match that level of intensity on the road, the same way we went to Michigan with that razor focus intensity, same energy we had going to Bama, then Arkansas should not be an issue because on paper they don't have the personnel either. But that game will turn on us, and we will start having concerns if we don't have that type of energy. That's all I'm saying. I think it's as mental as anything else. Because Texas has Jaden Blue in the open field. Nobody in the country has an answer for that. That guy's moving at Mach speed when he starts shaking, starts doing his thing. But we got to get our guys in these positions. That's critical. The team stats here. So third downs, 5 of 11. We, 6-14 conversion for the defense isn't great. How do you feel about the rushing? So Jacoby Jackson, we gave up 19 carries, 116 yards. His longest rush was only 11. And then the freshman Ball also almost had 100 yards rushing, and that was pretty much it. I'll let you go first. What were your thoughts in terms of the run defense and, how we played it all day, knowing Florida didn't have Lagway to part of the attack?
I don't know. It's certain things that I've seen a lot this year. I mean, like I said, it hasn't hurt us really, but we have let like 5-8 yard runs bust out like nothing. Like you said, what's the top run?
16.
16. What?
16 yards was the.
16.
So they had one explosive rush, right? Like explosive rush for anybody listening is anything over 15 yards.
Yeah.
So they had one.
They had one. I mean, I think if I'm a defense, I'm okay with that. One a game. I would like to see us own first down. I don't like teams playing with like a third and medium to third and short because they won on first down and got like 5 yards.
Good point.
So I'd like to see that, and I don't like conceding like 4 to 5 yards on first down, especially with an unproven quarterback. In my eyes, you put the ball in the quarterback's hands. What do you throw for? 130 yards. That's not going to beat you.
No, we haven't. I think is Michigan still the team that threw for the most yards versus us all season? I think it's still Michigan. The passing numbers again. Aiden Warner's a third stringer. Florida had a crap ton of dudes out. We get it. But 132 yards passing, this seems to be the range of numbers that people are throwing for against us on a weekly basis. What did Diego? Diego didn't have over 200 yards passing.
No.
Carson Beck threw for 175. They were Georgia got more yards with ATN. Um, I think Michigan is the one that has the most yards passing against us in a single game this
That's
year. Believe it
crazy.
or not.
They at that time they didn't have any quarterback.
So we didn't give much up. I mean, this is also I want to say this. Kenny Baker, defensive line coach. Well done. I'm seeing it with Alfred Collins. And we needed Alfred to play a little bit more today because for those who didn't remember, Vernon Broughton, because of his antics in the Vanderbilt game, was suspended today for the first half. So we actually got to see more Alfred Collins, and we got to see Sadir Mitchell today. And Sadir played very well. Sark had been talking about this coming out of the bye week. He said Sadir had his best 2 weeks of practice since being at Texas. And let me say this, man. I was so happy to hear that news. Look, we had two young men be kind of front and center this week. One chose to quit. Let's just call a spade a spade. He chose to quit.
Yeah.
They'll say it's mutual, whatever. But if he wanted to be on the team, I think he'd be on the team. Another who was struggling, for those who don't know, behind the scenes, Sadir was struggling. He'd been struggling and wasn't playing, and guys in front of him. And he could have folded up tent too. He's not from Texas. This guy's from New Jersey, right? He had every excuse in the world to say, you know what, I'm homesick. It's not working out, And to see a young man fight back like that against adversity and start playing better and start learning, that's what coaching and development is all about. Train, you're a coach now. You've been a coach for years now, man. Is there anything more rewarding to you than that?
No.
Than seeing that from a kid?
No. If that's not the most rewarding thing for you as a coach, you're in coaching for the wrong reason. It's great. It's great to see someone get that opportunity and take the most of their opportunity, work hard at it, work hard at the craft, knowing that their number is being called, and then go out there and represent and do what they need to do and execute the game plan that they have set for you. And we've all known that Sadir Mitchell has had the size. He's had the look.
Yes.
100%. We all know that. He's the biggest guy on the field. I can't wait till he has that in his mind.
I was so happy for him today. Ty Anthony Smith, young freshman linebacker, who, again, this guy's been playing all season long, by the way. This isn't new. But, we talk a lot about, and rightfully so, you let off with Ant Hill Jr., who continues to lead us in tackles. He is the leader in a lot of ways of that front seven up front in the defense, and he does his thing. Leifau, I know some people are wanting still. You got people that are team Leifau. You got people that are team Benda in terms of who should be starting next to Ant Hill. I get it. But when Ty Anthony Smith gets in there, you see SEC speed at the linebacker position. I know he's small, okay? I know the brother needs some weight room. He's tiny. He's also from a small town. But Ty Anthony Smith knows how to play football, Tran. The brother knows keys, okay? The brother knows how proper depth as a linebacker. You don't just get lucky on interceptions like that, man.
Never.
You got to be in position to make those plays. And it's not like, I know today was his first pick, but like, man, I've just been impressed with him too as a young guy coming in here and commanding playing time the right way. So shout out to Ty Anthony Smith.
So before the season, I forget which news outlet it was, but I remember reading something that said, "I cannot wait to see Ty Anthony Smith and Anthony Hill on the field together." And that after you saying this about him, it really resonated with me and it really brought me back to that. Just it's like we said, like our studs are actually playing like studs, which is phenomenal.
You always say I want my 5 stars to play like 5 stars. John Wayne banging the table for David Bender. Hey, they're trying to develop Leifau, but I get it. But here's the thing. I agree with you in terms of the what he brings, especially matchup wise. Let's be clear. A game like this, I do think is more of a Bender game where a team is clearly coming forward. There's not a whole bunch of throw game. Like when we were in the Big 12, that was kind of a problem for David Bender when it was like we're going up against like 10 personnel and like people are throwing the ball all over the place quickly. This was trenches football today that Florida was out there doing. A lot of 12 personnel, a lot of running in between the tackles. That's where David Bender likes to live.
Can we just be happy that we have both of them and now we're versatile?
That's where I'm going with this too.
Okay.
No, I'm with you.
Yeah.
I think with Leifau, they're trying to develop him, which they have the margin to do because they're whooping somebody's ass. So if you're whooping somebody's ass, play the young guys. Here's the other thing. David Bender is what, a 6-7 year senior? And he's even with a redshirt freshman. They're going to play both. And they're going to give like it's just the reality of the situation. So they still got to get the young guys that work. That's why we said it earlier. I was upset about Jared Gibson, and when he comes to the sideline, yeah, I'm cussing his ass out, but don't bench him. Don't the answer for everybody can't just be bench his ass every single time. Like especially when we're up like this, he needs to get in there and get reps and learn the hard way. If we could bench quarterbacks like crazy if we wanted to, because they make bad decisions, right? If we're just gonna roll like that, like Jared Gibson, I know it's hard to rely on him right now when ball security is that much of a challenge. But these kids need to play. They got to learn. That's my opinion. You can agree or disagree.
Well, the Gibson second fumble was when the game was out of hand. But I mean, we still got it. We still got it. But I mean, you're right. You can only simulate so much in practice. They have to get in the game to see it, and that's where they also learn. So I always look at it as, hey, that we had a blowout game, which is fantastic, but there's a lot of stuff that we can learn and get better from.
I like the fact that Jelani McDonald's playing a lot of football still. These are Kobe Black's played a lot, and Kobe Black, I think he got turned around real bad on one of those, the one chunk play that they had. But let's talk about that. As well as this defense has been playing, and I'm going to hit a trigger point right now, but it needs to be brought up on this broadcast, folks. This defense is playing lights out. We don't have control over the competition. I have no control over Florida not having Graham Mertz and DJ Lagway. It is what it is. We have to play the game. But that big chunk play that happened, okay, that now it ultimately didn't lead to points because the guy missed the field goal. However, what bothers me is none of that. What bothers me is our kicking game sucks right now. And I think that's going to bite us in the ass later in the season. I'm very concerned about our kicking game. I am now hitting the panic button.
Yep.
We can't punt. Tran, we can't flip the field. What's wrong with the field goal kicker?
I don't know.
What the hell is that? Kickoffs, we've now turned off kick return because we hold every time. What unit of special teams are we good at right now? Maybe coverage, kick coverage. But I have questions for Jeff Banks, and we need to hit the panic button on the kicking game. The punting sucks. The kicking sucks. The kick returns suck. And then our punt return almost died today. Like, where is anybody else not concerned about this when we play the good teams? This is going to be Georgia's punter. Y'all saw how much of a weapon that was. This shit matters against the good teams.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a little concerned about if the game is close. I can't trust Bert Auburn. I think he's now under 70% field goal kicking for the year. Yes, he's only kicked 9 field goals or something like that, but still, you need to hit those.
I mean, God bless. Sark actually turned shit around this offseason and said, we're going to become efficient in the red zone and score touchdowns. That's not an excuse because you're not getting as many field goals now to be smoking them things.
Yeah. I think 40 and in, you should be automatic at this level.
Kicking game is terrible. It needs to be called. I am very concerned about it. This is the type of shit where you'll get in like the SEC championship game, or hell, you'll go down to College Station, and it's a tight game, and we just need 3 to keep the lead or something, and we can't. Like, I don't feel good about it.
Same.
I don't feel good about it. Look, I understand he missed a 53-yard of the ball. The kick wasn't even a good kick though. I know what Bert. First of all, Bert's range, that's at the very edge of his range. I get that. It wasn't even a good kick. And he hasn't kicked the ball well all season.
100%.
He has not been fine.
No.
He has not been fine. He missed a 30-something yard kick in the Michigan game, man.
He is 3 of 5 between 40 and 49.
That's not good. I don't want a 60% kicker between the 40s. No, that's not good. The punting is even worse though. That's the other problem. Forget Bert. The punting is even worse. People are getting the ball at the 40 and 50-yard line, man. Our defense is so good at standing on business that they've just gotten used to playing on short field, so they don't give a shit anymore. But like, bro, like, you see what they do when they get somebody really backed up. They get turnovers, like the Anthony Hill fumble, right? Or I don't know, man. The field position thing. Yeah, he missed kicks in the OU game. We got to improve the kicking game. This needs to be emphasized. I don't know what Jeff Banks can do. And look, if for a confidence thing at this point, they got to know their boundaries. Okay, if you know that the guy, I've always said this to you, Tran. Bert doesn't have a boot, but he is accurate, or he was at one point. I mean, the guy is one of the all-time. Isn't he like the all-time leading scorer in Texas history or something like that? Or is that Dicker?
It's got to be Dicker. He only has like 100 and
I don't know.
He has like 300 points.
One of them has a shit ton of points. I thought it was Bert, but
it might be. I don't know.
But he's been here for a while. That's the thing. He's not new. And Bert's made big kicks in his career. Let's not act like he hasn't. This is his first year kicking or his second year kicking. He's been here for a long time. I don't know what's going on, but it needs to get right. Sam said, "It's to the point I'd rather the other team scores."
I got a question too. Like on punt return, is it goal. Who's our punt returner normally?
Silas Bolden.
Silas Bolden. Okay, Silas Bolden. He never calls fair catch, no matter what.
Right. Does he have carte blanche just do whatever he
Yeah,
wants? Like, what is this?
I don't think I've seen it. I don't even think the play he got hurt on, he called fair catch. The guy just hit him before the ball was even able to go.
I think Dan is onto something here. I think you're right, Tran. I think you're right, man. But I think Dan, this comment here, I think we missed Joe D, bro. Joe D was on the staff last year. This shit was on point. Now, we miss a lot. Let me say this too. And I've said this for weeks. Only a few people have my words are. I feel like I'm doing the Bernie Sanders pointing hands thing, but like I'm starting to grow the the legion of people who are with me on this. We missed two people in particular from this team that have not been replaced. Actually, three of them now. Keaton Crawford, who, in my opinion, was the best special teamer in the freaking country last year. We miss Keelan Robinson. Those guys were killers on special teams. They were gunners. They were punt block. They were field goal block. They were just animals on special teams. Coverage units down there. We also missed Derek Williams, who was injured. He was another core special teamer.
Yeah.
Those guys were real, as Tom Herman used to say, special forces. It used to make me cringe all the time. But that's what time those guys were on. So, this comment here, Tran said, return teams are within Banks' control, Tran. So, to your point about him not going out there and not making fair catches.
I feel like I haven't seen him do it once, and I cringe every single time. I'm like, he's gonna fumble, he's gonna muff a ball, or he's gonna get hit awkwardly. It's I hold my breath every single time.
I trust Jeff Banks because the special teams, this is shocking how bad they've been. Because they've been lucky that it has not really truly. I mean, it cost them in the Georgia game. Let's not front. I think it cost them more so because Georgia's special teams was so good. But it did cost them in the Georgia game. The field position in that game absolutely made a difference. I'm shocked about how bad special teams is this year because for two reasons. Number one, like I said with all the guys we had before, we were a top tier special teams unit, I felt like. We were not only leading the country in block kicks, but we had good field goal kicking. I thought our punt game was consistent from what I remember. Like, I felt like we were really good at all the different entities that are special teams in a football game. I didn't feel like we were weak at really anything. And now the kicking, especially, has just been so poor. I'm perplexed by that. What I'm also just like, it hasn't cost us though. So we have to fix it before it gets to become. I don't want this thing to get clipped and then it's A&M and then we're like, yep, shit cost us a game, man. You know what I mean? Or the SEC championship or a playoff game.
Yeah, you got to course correct it when you know it's awful. They should have course corrected it on the bye weeks, because I've been saying this whole schedule is like a tale of three seasons. The beginning portion, bye, then our middle, and then right now we're at the end portion of our season, and we have 3 games left. It's gonna be hard to fix something that to me looks so broken.
Yeah. Are you talking about Austin Jordan before he left? Yeah. I think that was Austin Jordan that had that block. We do have a block punt. I think Ethan Burke got his hand on one, and I know Mookie tackled somebody. I mean, that hasn't been bad though. Like the kick block stuff when we have gone kick block. Like we haven't. What I look for is, are you putting real pressure on the punter, and are you able to get there? And then do you have good discernment about not running into the punter or hitting the punter to where, because we've had years where we sucked at that, and then Tran will be like, "Yo, I don't want us to ever call pump block because
Ever,
y'all are reckless."
ever, ever. There's some like there are
We've
some
had
games where you and I are like they're in pump block right here, and they don't look like they're showing block, but then dropping into, and then of course roughing the kicker.
I want the punter, man. Give me Georgia's punter, and this defense is even better.
Mm-hmm.
Our defense is half the game they're playing with short fields, it feels like. We don't have a punter. Like, if we're kicking from our 20 or something, the guy can't push the ball end over end on past the other person's 20. Like, what happened to our Australian program, man? We used to have people with boots back there. What's going on? That's just me. I mean, punting is important.
Yes.
Bert did have a consecutive field goal record. Now we ran out of Australians.
I was watching a video of an Australian punter. I think he's on Ohio State, that he punted the ball like 82 yards or something like that. We need that.
I mean, it's good that we can sit here and nitpick that after a 32-point win today. So that's good, right? That's a sign of a healthy program overall. But
We don't want
Tran
to
and
just be
I,
healthy. We want to be the best.
we want to be the best. That's why we're
Yeah,
talking like
yeah.
this,
We
right?
want to
We
be
want
the
to
best. Like I don't care about healthy right now.
be. That's a good point. Welcome back, Andrew Makuba. I'm trying to see if there's anybody else that caught my attention that we need to touch on. You know
Trey
what?
Trey Moore having his best game. Did we say that?
Yes, I mentioned it, but you can go. You can talk a little bit more about Trey Moore if you want to.
No, it's just like this game was something I was expecting all year round for him, and it's finally. Maybe he's just used now to the system, and he's starting to hit his stride. But he had a great game. He was getting pressure. I think he was the first person to sack the quarterback this game, and I think he got his first sack. He just looked like he was able to set the edge. He just looked like he had a little extra pop in him, that he was running and flying to the ball. It was good to see him feeling comfortable within the system.
So I have Bert's. We're about to do a deep dive real quick. I'm calling audible. So Bert in 2022. So yeah, he had to set the Texas and Big 12 record for 19 consecutive field goals made in 2023. Established a Texas record for a kicker with 21 points scored in 2023 against Texas Tech. Got a Scully this year. Okay. And then he set the point, 2023 points scored by a kicker. So not all time, but he put up. And granted, like I said, we were struggling, right? We were always we felt like, man, we're not getting 7, we're kicking, we're getting 3, all this type of stuff. But I mean, you look at this last season, he was what, 29 for 35. That's good. The year before, 21 for 26 as a sophomore. That's good. I don't think we're getting that type of. He's not. I don't. Something's not passing the eye test. What is his?
6 for 9, I think. So
He's 6 for 9 this year.
yeah, so it's like 67% or something like that.
I don't know. Maybe it's just a lower. Okay, I'm keeping my eye on
He,
this,
he
man.
needs to go on another 19 straight run. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, he's 6 for 9. He hasn't missed any point afters. Okay, maybe I'm making him.
No,
Maybe.
no, he's
Yeah.
a senior. No. I'm sorry. He is a senior. You pulled yourself a Kawhi Leonard. You got yourself a scholarship, and you decided to I'm cool. We straight. You got the bag, and you're just like, yeah, I'm good. I got one more year. I'm just joking. I really do want him to go on a 19 straight.
We love you, Bert. We're rooting for you. We want to see the standard again,
I
baby.
really do. I want you to tie the record again.
Okay. Let me go back to the other screen. Oh my God, that was funny. He said, "No, do not let him off the hook." Hold on, y'all were asking about Trey Moore. Trey Moore did get credit for the sack.
He didn't.
Look, he did.
Oh,
On the
okay.
stat sheet, it says he got a sack.
Good.
I
Because
know the boy crawled his way back to
Yeah.
the line of scrimmage, but I was like, y'all better give my boy a sack for that.
100% it was a sack. Dude trying to get drafted. Don't take away his stats.
No. Oh yeah, Gilbo. Gilbo got a sack. And he blitzed. I said on Twitter, I said, yo, Gilbo got a sack. He fucking came from Cancun on that. The poor quarterback. That's when you know you're not seeing the field, bro. The quarterback, bro, they sent a heater.
He got a sack off of a Todd Orlando special.
Buddy, you do not have that type of time back there, man. Yo. My guy Bliss from the Marshall Islands, bro. There was a time change that occurred from the time the ball was snapped until Jalen Gilbo got there. And the Florida QB was clueless. I'm like, you didn't see that heater? Also, you know what I like about it, though, in all seriousness? Shout out to Gilbo for executing the play. It was a nice play call. We don't blitz like that. So because people are playing us on tendency, right? We normally play coverage. It kind of messed them up when we actually sent a heater at somebody. I like that. Because we were like one of the PK is not blitz heavy at all, and Manson and then they seem to only dial them up when they really feel like they're in trouble. Which again they prefer to play coverage, but that messed the Florida QB all the way up. He did not see that boy coming at all. I screamed when he got there. I thought he was going to injure him. He was not ready for that hit at all. Tran, parting thoughts on today's game heading into Arkansas?
I think I saw a comment that said Arkansas equals rat cheese or rat poison, whatever it was.
No.
It's not. We got our ass beat.
This is a rivalry game, bro.
This is we got our ass. No, not only that. 2 years ago, we got our ass beat by them. You don't think that Sark remembers that? Coaches are egotistical, completely egotistical.
And pretty much the whole staff, outside of a couple guys, was here for that game. Who were the kids that were here? Too. We had a lot of guys that are still on the team that played and start. Jake Majors started that game. Hayden Connor was here. Kelvin Banks was here. Where's Kevin Banks here? I think he was
No,
here. No,
no,
he wasn't here.
no,
No, Kelvin Banks wasn't. Kelvin
no,
Banks was 2022. My
no,
bad.
no.
But Hayden Connor, it would have been Hayden Connor. Was Hayden Connor playing yet? I don't know. Jake Majors was
Bert
playing.
Auburn was here.
Burn off. Burt went. Come on, dog. Let
What he
my boy
was?
go. John A. Barron was here. David Benda was here. Most of the team came together in 2022 when Quinn got here. But there are some people lingering around from 2021.
Sadir is Sadir?
No.
No, he's not. Yeah,
Sadir's new.
yeah.
Alfred was here.
Yeah.
Yeah, Alfred and Vernon were here. They're Tom Herman guys.
Bendo was a senior versus Arkansas.
Oh, and the game's at 11 o'clock? Oh, we good then. We good. If the game's at 11, we go up their ass. I'm only worried about that place at night. It's like playing the vampires in daylight. We good. What did you say that one time? The only time you go to Jack in the Box is after 12 is
when you're drunk or high.
when you're drunk or high. And the only other people that are at Jack in the Box are vampires and whores. Other than that, we good. So we don't gotta worry about if the I hold on. Let me look at this real quick. It's an 11 a.m. kick. They're cooked.
They're cooked. That's just so funny.
If we were playing them boys get power at night, bro. them boys get. If you play them during the day, they ain't getting that extra. It ain't gonna be turned like that. Why the hell is Clemson scoreless at halftime at Virginia Tech? Jesus Christ, Dabo.
Is Lincoln, is Riley still there?
Yeah, Garrett
Not
Riley.
Lincoln. Yeah, Garrett. Thank you.
Yeah. And right before I got on air, too, I saw Klubnik threw a pick. Nasty work. Yeah, 11 a.m. kickoff, we good. I ain't scared of y'all at 11. Hell no.
And guess what? We already had a week to prepare for playing at 11.
If we were playing them boys at night, that's a completely different conversation. So, yeah, we'll be back though during the week for Arkansas prep. Like they do have 2 weeks to prepare for us, just like we had 2 weeks to prepare for Florida. They are coming off of a belt to ass of epic proportions that they got from Ole Miss. Their quarterback got benched. Their fans were booing. They looked like they wanted to fire. I thought Sam Pittman was honestly going to get fired post game. That's how bad they were the last time they came out and played football. So you got to understand, if you're Texas, expect a desperate team. Expect a team if they want to fight for the coach. But I will also say this. If you do what Ole Miss did at the very beginning of that game, which is leave no doubt, those boys will quit. Those boys showed some quit. I saw some people quitting in the Ole Miss. That you cannot hide that on film, especially on their defense when they just couldn't get communication settled, and then it's like, damn, nobody covered the post for the 5th time again. Like nobody's over there. You saw people starting to jog. I'm just saying. So it goes both ways. Sometimes dudes will come out real desperate trying to salvage things. And then that here we go again starts happening. It's 14-0, 21-0. Florida at least tried with the people they had out there. I felt like Florida didn't quit today. Florida fought. They didn't have the horses.
Yeah.
Arkansas will quit. I saw it. They can't hide that shit. They will actually quit. So, all right, Joseph Medina said, I don't know if they quitting against Texas, though. They hate us with the utmost intensity. All right. We hate them too. Tran and I have been talking about the ass whooping they gave us for 3 years. So we should be ready for this. For some get back. Sark, that's the one time where he's like, yo, that and the Iowa State game, the get off the bus, Bo game. That and the Iowa State game was like where we physically got our ass whooped. Like end to end, we looked scared. So
yeah, when Michigan fans were saying that they're going to beat us this year, like by 16 touchdowns or some bullshit, we were like go back and look at Sark's record. Like no, those were the only 2 games that they scored under like 14 points in the Sark era.
said we about to turn pig suey into the pork chops.
I hope so.
Let's get it.
I hope it's over by halftime.
Everybody that participated in the chat today, we appreciate y'all. It has been dope. Tran, always easier and fun, and in a blowout win, we get to put the backups in. Everybody gets to play. Everybody gets to have some fun today. Fun in the sun. 11 a.m. We handle our business so we can enjoy the rest of our Saturday in peace. Right. Yeah. So
yeah, we get to watch others.
Right.
Others play.
Before you leave in chat, let me know who you got in Bama versus LSU. Do you want to put a pick on record?
Me?
Yeah.
Bama.
I got Bama too.
I got Bama. I'm sorry, Billy, if you're watching, but I don't know. Y'all just to me look really exposed against A&M, and I think that I think that Bama's gonna win.
LSU by 10. Somebody else said Bama. Yeah, we'll see. All right. Well, I'm about to log out here. I'm about to go to a watch party actually to see the second half of Georgia Ole Miss, and then a watch party for Bama LSU. So I got to get going.
Enjoy it, man.
I will. Thank you for joining.
Always.
Y'all hit the like button, subscribe, the whole bit. Help us grow this platform. And remember, horns always up. Hook 'em.